Hello, everyone. This is Dr. J here, and I am joined by a very special guest today, Dr. Mary Rensel, who is a board certified neurologist here today, who will be talking to us about exercise and our brains. So I'm super excited to be sharing this information with you. But before we start, I'm just going to start off with a disclaimer. This information is for educational purposes only. So if you have any questions about your health, please consult your primary care physician. Okay. All right. So let's get started. Dr. Mary Rensel, thank you so much for being here today. Can you just first start off by telling us a little bit about you and your story, please?
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm so honored. And hi to your audience. And I love your mission. I love talking about exercise and brains. And so I'm just honored and excited to be here with everybody. So I'm a neuroimmunologist. I'm also boarded in integrative health, and I have my own business called Brain Fresh. And so I love talking about brains and like what we can do day to day, just little things to really help support our brain. I kind of think of like, how do you put it in a nice little hammock and take care of it,
Love it.
So we're going to talk all about that today. And, I'm just honored because I really would talk about this all day if you let me.
Well, I'm so glad because we are going to get into it. So the first question that I have for you is, how does exercise impact our brain health?
Yeah, it's really cool because we could do things, all throughout our day that can really kind of manipulate or impact, like you said, our brain support system. We can manipulate it. So the first thing is sometimes people are like, I have no time. I have nothing. I can't do one more thing, and so what we can do is we can put our brain like in a more positive learning state by, just trying to manipulate a little bit and think of positive things, which is not so easy if you're like in a crabby mood or it's like really long day or, so if we say, okay, I'm going to do this on purpose because I'll be more willing to do the good things that my brain needs. So I just call it like adapting your neural state throughout the day. So there's little tricks. And if you take like 2 minutes throughout the day to think of like things that are positive, or you think of like the teacher that really helped you, or an attending that really helped you, or a neighbor that was really loving to you and supported you, it gives your brain that little positive energy, puts it in a positive state. And that puts us in a positive learning state. So our emotional state sets our learning state. But we can manipulate our emotional state a little bit, right? Sometimes it's hard, but there's little things throughout the day that we can do to manipulate it.
Yes.
So it is those little brain hacks we could sneak in.
Yes. No, I love that. I'm all about brain hacks because, sometimes it's hard to get yourself up and moving, and you really have to be intentional about putting yourself in a different state. So, and the brain is so powerful. And if we just let our brains assist us to affect our emotional state and well-being, we are more able to perform and do the things that we want to do. Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the next question is, I often hear from patients that I don't have enough time to exercise. What would you say is the first piece of advice that you would give someone to create more time to exercise?
I hear you. We hear that a lot. I mean, I say that myself sometimes. I'd say, oh my gosh, today's a busy day. I'm not sure I can sneak it in. I love putting myself in my calendar. So I make sure that I write in my calendar the days I'm going to journal, the days I'm going to lift weights, the days I'm going to, do some cardio, and the days I'm going to yoga, so that I know, like, I don't have to worry because I got it all spread out over my week and I have it set. And sometimes it's not perfect. I might miss something, but I would say this, there's experts at human habits. Like, there's so many researchers who have done, the psychology and the neuroanatomy and neurophysiology of setting new habits. So I just like to go and learn from them, right? So they've all said, if you set really teeny goals, super small, like sometimes all you do is buy new tennis shoes and you say, look, I bought new tennis shoes. I did that, check. I don't have to do anything else. Like, so you make the good things for you really easy and the hard things for you harder. So, or you might say, I can't really watch that favorite show unless I've done 5 minutes on my bike, or I've done, 5-minute stretches. I will say, one good thing, if there's any good thing that has come out of COVID, is I've looked for resources that are free and easy to use. so I can exercise because I didn't have access to gyms or anything for a long time, like a lot of people. So I found like I love the free Nike training app. It's
Mhm.
really easy to use. My daughter taught me about that one. And it's like very easy to use and you can just browse it really quickly. So if you have like 2 pound weights, that's all you have, or you don't have any equipment, you can look. And if you're a beginner, you could put 3 minute, 5 minute exercise and it'll walk you through it. So you don't, if you say, I'm not an exerciser, fine. So some of the brain tricks are so watch the words that you relate to. Like maybe you call yourself, I don't exercise. I'm a non-exerciser. Well, do you move? I bet you move throughout the day. So you're a mover. So just if you don't want to call yourself an exerciser, call yourself a mover. I move throughout the day. So I'm just going to move a little bit more and I'm going to move maybe with some weights, like 2 minutes, or all I'm going to do is move and buy some new shoes. And next week, I'm going to do 5 minutes. So you really have to do something real little and celebrate. Something real little, celebrate. Because that's what the brain likes. The brain likes fun and positive and to feel successful. So if we say, oh, I never exercise, but I'm going to run a marathon next week, you're just going to say, oh, that's a big goal. I don't think I can do that. So if you break it down into small chunks and celebrate, that's the key. So it's good stuff, right? So if you learn how to manipulate your brain a little bit, it's actually fun. Like you have more fun, put more fun into your life.
Yes.
It works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. I often talk about that often. I often speak about that as well as celebrating our wins. And no
Yeah.
matter how small it is, celebrate it.
Yes.
So
Right.
I'm glad
Right.
that you emphasize that.
Yeah, like even YouTube has free videos. If you're not an exerciser, maybe you like to dance. Maybe you just want to stretch. Well, there you go. You're moving.
Mhm.
And then the other thing that the brain needs is we're very communal people, right? So we like to be with people that understand us and, that are maybe teaching us or supporting us. And we have to acknowledge that the people we keep around us, I like to think of it like a blanket you wrap around you. Like think of all the people that you keep close to you in your life as a blanket that wraps around you, that supports you. And sometimes it's good to step back and think like, who are those people that I see the most and what are their actions? Because if I keep any one person around me that exercises a little bit, I'm going to start exercising because as humans, we mimic each other.
Mhm.
I mean, that's what we do. We don't even realize sometimes that we mimic each other so strongly. So if we keep these people wrapped around us as supports, then if they exercise a little, then we will start exercising a little. They exercise more, we will. So if you're wondering, how do I become an exerciser? You know what's an easy way is to get an exerciser in your life, like hang out with an exerciser because it's almost contagious. Because you know what we like to do as humans is like to share resources. Like how do you like that app my daughter taught me is it really helped me. So it's free. I can put it on my phone. I always have my phone around close generally. And so it's easy. I didn't have to buy any new equipment. I didn't have to spend $100. All I had to do was download an app. So that wasn't bad, and now I can use it and it gives me little celebrations. It sends me a poster if I do a class and sends me a little trophy. And so, it's kind of neat, and I
Yeah.
know a lot of people have done like Peloton and things but some people don't have the financial backing to buy a lot of expensive things and you don't have to, do an assessment every once in a while, the people that I think of like that wrap around you.
Oh, I
It's like
love that.
who do you keep close to you? Because we mimic their behavior. So if you have people who no exercise, overeat, overdrink, they're not active in your community, that's probably what we'll do.
Mhm.
And there's some neat studies. You pull one person with positive behaviors into your life, it'll change your life. It'll change your action. So
Mhm.
that's another easy way to do it is pull someone closer who does some of those things that you want to start doing.
Yes, yes. No,
Mm-hmm.
I love that because, you're a culmination of like the 5 people you hang around with. So
Yes,
think
right.
about those people that you're hanging around and
So
are
that's a
they
brain hack. Yeah, that's
right,
a
right.
brain
Are they
hack. Just
influencing the person that you would like to become? So I
mm-hmm.
love that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Absolutely.
So this is the last question.
Yeah.
So for people who are anxious or nervous about exercise, what do you think are some brain hacks that they can use uh, in their brain so they can place themselves in a position to serve them?
Right. Well, I think one thing to know is emotions come from the brain. We a lot of times hear emotions come from our hearts, but it's not true, So emotions come from our brain, but our emotions also come from our thoughts. So if we say, again, exercise might hurt, it might be scary, I don't know what to do, we can just tell ourselves a new thought, like, this week I'm going to do 3 things, or I'm going to find, you set a little goal, yes, it's going to be scary and new, because the brain, when something's new, it takes the brain some energy, right, to figure out new things. So the brain is hesitant to do new things, but the brain is wired to help us do new things. Like if you think of a baby learning to walk or a child learning how to ride a bike, it takes practice. It's not going to be perfect. But if you watch your thoughts and say, I know it's scary because it's new to me, brain, I hear you. We have 2 amygdalas who kind of take care of us and keep us safe. And they may say, oh, this might be scary. It might hurt. It might not feel good. But, you could say, it might feel good. I might feel better. And my emotions might be lifted, because we can alter sometimes our emotional states by physical movement. So our brain feeds, how our body feels, but our body also feeds how our brain feels. So little goals, if you're not an exerciser and you're feeling really anxious or down, you say, I'm just going to watch one of those videos and do 5 minutes of a dance. Like during the winter, I literally was watching line dancing on YouTube, and I found all kind of funny videos. It was hilarious. It just made me laugh. And I was trying to do line dancing in my living room. My kids were laughing hysterically at me, but it was fun. I was moving. It was funny. I found some, women from the Philippines who all were together and doing it. And it was funny. And I found some, people like urban setting. I found all these different settings where people were learning how to dance. It was really fun. I had a blast. So sometimes if we do something new, it'll have more benefits than we ever thought.
Yes, I love
Mhm.
that. It's the small
Mhm.
things
Mhm.
on a regular basis that leads to your
Mhm.
big thing. So that's
Exactly.
awesome.
Mhm.
All right, Dr. Mary Rensel, thank you so much. This was amazing. Now, if someone wants to learn more about you, how can we get in touch with you? How can we find you?
Yeah, well, I have a YouTube channel as well. So it's Dr. Mary Rensel. So you could start there. I'm on Insta under The Brain Fresh. And yeah, so just join me and follow me. And I'd love to, teach you more about brain hacks and how to manage your time through just learning more about the brain, because it's an amazing organ and serves us every day. And we need to serve it a little bit, support it. So I'm all about that.
Oh, yes, I love that. Serving our brain. That's
Mm-hmm.
amazing. And all the links will be below, so you can find all the ways to get in touch with Dr. Mary Rensel and learn more of her brain hacks. Well, thank
Mm-hmm.
you so much again. This was amazing information. All right, we are out of here. All right, bye.